I want to know your thoughts on like transitioning. So like you mentioned before, like that person at the table who's maybe looking to incorporate more vegan foods into their life and, has to accommodate these other people. I usually say, and I'm of the thoughts that if you're wanting to transition, whether you want whole foods or veganism, it's different, but either one, I think one of the best things you can do is probably go to restaurants first before trying out maybe cooking for yourself, because then you can see what other people are making, what spices are they using, how are they doing that? Like, what tips do you usually give people that want to adopt a vegan or a whole foods diet?
I think people should stop overthinking it and stop thinking about how it's going to be all of these new, unfamiliar foods. It can be that way. And for me, later down the line, I played with ingredients I had never eaten. However, when I started, and what I encourage for other people is to focus on what you're currently eating and figure out easy swaps. Like for tacos, instead of using the ground beef, I use lentils, and I use the same taco seasoning that I buy at the store, and I throw that in there with some lentils, mash it up, and it's a really good taco filling. And it's meaty enough. It's like a hearty texture. The the spices and the onion that I saute and garlic that I saute in it. The spices with the lentil combo tricks my brain into thinking like this is a familiar taste. This is how I eat my tacos. And then I use the same toppings, guacamole and some salsa and some cilantro, and it is delicious. So easy swap. Instead of cooking ground beef, which you have to cook, it takes time. It's the same time to cook lentils, especially if you have a pressure cooker or a slow cooker or something like that. It's very easy and much cheaper than beef. Then another one is looking at your pasta. If you're using pasta sauce, and some vegetables, even frozen vegetables, that's a meal that's plant based. It doesn't require a lot of modification. Maybe if you use cheese, don't use cheese. And my point is, it doesn't have to be reinventing the wheel and looking for these really complicated recipes to try online. It could be just looking at what you're already cooking and thinking about how to make simple swaps for foods that you already love, and that are plant based, and enjoying those.
That's really